I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. Most people don't hate because they're evil. They hate because there's something inside of them that isn't resolved. And before you distance yourself and before you say, I'm not like that, understand this. Hate doesn't always look like violence. Sometimes it looks like judgment. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it just looks like I don't mess with that group of people. So today we're not asking why or who you hate. We're going to ask something a lot harder. Why do humans turn against each other at all? Hate is really about the other person. Here's the truth. Hate is almost never about the target. It's about the mirror. People hate what exposes them. They hate that their insecurity gets exposed. They hate the regret. They hate the fear that their unhealed wounds get exposed. That's what people are ducking with hate. If I can hate on you, you can't expose me. I can remain hidden behind my own suffering. Confidence triggers people who feel powerless. A better question: what does my existence remind them of? Fear is the real engine. That's what's really driving the train. It's fear. At the core of hate is fear. Fear of being replaced, fear of being irrelevant, fear of being exposed, fear of being left behind. All things that are happening to the less dominant racial groups here in America. All the minority groups fall under what the white majority do not want to experience. That's kind of what's happening. That's why the power imbalance stays so shifted to one side, is because I think the idea is that if we go to where you guys are, you're going to do to us what we have done to you. I don't know if that's true, but I think that's a huge fear. When people don't feel safe internally, they look for external threats. Different becomes dangerous, unknown becomes evil, change becomes an enemy. That's why hate spreads so fast. Economic stress, cultural changes, loss of identity. Hate gives fear a direction. It gives it a place to target it to. I don't want to sit with my own hatred with myself, so I'll utilize it to target someone else, and that'll make me feel better because I don't have to do the work internally. People need someone to blame. That's the uncomfortable part to say. When life feels unfair, random, and rigged, people look for someone to blame. Blame creates relief. If you're the problem, then I don't have to examine myself. If there is a reason that I'm struggling, then my pain has a meaning. This is why hate is contagious. It gives people a story, a villain, a sense of control, even its false self. Tribe's identity and us versus them. This is what happens. This is a us versus them. This is how human beings has always been since the beginning of time, forming little groups, tribes, communities, particular areas of wealth, poverty, middle class, and forming in these like little silos. We're in like little tiny tribes. That's why a lot of this can happen, because everybody has their own little tiny belief system that they're standing up for. And you'll find these little tribes. One will be MAGA, one will be, let's say, the Black Panthers, and another one could be LGBTQ. These could be like little tribes. So what's happening is everybody has their own self-beliefs and no one's really coming together. So it will allow us to hate each other. So we must feel safer in groups. We must trust what looks familiar. We defend what we identify with. But here's where it gets wrong. When identity becomes fragile, differences become threatening. Race, religion, politics, gender, status. People don't just defend ideas. They defend their sense of self. So disagreement feels like an attack. Conversation feels like betrayal. Compromise feels like weakness. That's when hate replaces curiosity. Social media has made it a lot worse. Let's be real. Social media didn't create the hate, it rewarded it. Outrage gets attention, anger gets engagement, nuances get buried. People are encouraged to dehumanize, oversimplify, react instead of reflect. And when you never see the full human, only the label, empathy disappears. It's easier to hate an avatar than it is to hate a person. The truth nobody likes. This is it. The truth nobody likes. Here's the part most people avoid. Everyone has the capacity for hate. The difference is who examines it and who lets it rot. Unexamined pain becomes resentment. Unexamined fear becomes hatred. Unexamined shame becomes cruelty. Hate isn't strength. It's unrelated emotional debt. That's what it is. That's just kind of how things are going. If I can keep hating on you, I don't have to look at myself. I can hide behind this wall. I can be jealous of your accomplishments, although I may have 10 times more than you. I can behave this way because I don't want to become what you are or what I've done to you. I'd be curious to hear, what are your thoughts about it? Do you hate somebody? You hate a particular group of people? Why do you hate them? Be straight up. Just be straight up. Why do you hate that people? Why do you hate those group of people? That's what I want to know. What's going on? Why would you? The other thing about hate too, hate is such concentrated energy. It takes so much focused energy to hate on somebody. I don't even have that type of time to hate anyone. I have to just kind of move on with life and kind of navigate it differently. Like I don't have the luxury to sit around and hate a particular anything because it's taken away from my energy. It's taken away from my positive focused energy. That's why I'm conscious of it. I make an effort not to. And if I am hating on someone or something, I ask myself, what is it about that that's pissing me off to make me hate on that? That's really what it is. I just don't have jealousy in me. I'm not built with that trait. It's not something I look for, but it's a weakness. I'd be curious to hear from you guys. I appreciate you staying with me today. Like, share, and subscribe to the Veracious podcast. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.